Alongside Steelheads forward Zach Walker, Walks want to go a little bit all over the place here tonight, but first want to talk about the weekend, this past weekend down in Kansas City. A couple of games, couple one-goal games, and nice to come out on the winning end of those.
Yeah, obviously you like to come out of a weekend with some points. We got 5 out of 6, so we're fortunate in that sense. Played Wichita, pretty familiar with them. Tough bounce there. We let up a couple leads, but still a good game. And then nice to see Kansas City, a new team this year. Definitely a good team. We'll be seeing them again here soon, but just happy to get a couple wins.
Talking about those one-goal games, all 3 of them were one-goal games.
Right.
Pretty surprising stat there. Haven't played in many this year, but a lot of learning experiences from those and going to be valuable coming down the stretch here.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, we'll probably have to run into one of those teams, later on during the season. You learn to play with leads and defend them. I think that's kind of what we took from this game, from these games. We let in a couple late, but being able to, bounce back and be level-headed during those situations is going to be huge during the rest of the year.
How much confidence did you guys get as a team after falling in overtime on Wednesday, going to overtime Friday, and coming out with the victory? Had to bolster the confidence a little bit.
Yeah, I think that was huge. We lost a couple key pieces during the trip. We had some guys get called up, some guys get sick and whatnot, but I think being able to just be a resilient group that, you can take a loss one night and then string together a couple wins after, that's great. Everyone played solid. We weren't worried when things went down, and Zane Franklin was, put us on top that game. So I think it's been a really resilient, tough group this year, and it's been showing in how we've been playing.
Zane Franklin, the overtime winner on Friday night, and I could see you post-career maybe pursuing a broadcasting career, especially after your goal call earlier today.
Yeah, fans might be able to hear something interesting coming up on social media here. Little goal calls, me and a couple of the guys. I think I may or may not have been the top pick, but we'll see. We'll see what the fans say.
So we had yourself, Cody Heiskanen, Dawson Barteau, and Wade Murphy. Yeah. I think you were head and heels, and I think they would say that as well. Who would you put second place there?
I'd say, Cody Heiskanen's a pretty good guy. I think he put together a good call. He went to a really good school, so I think his vocabulary and creativity, definitely took precedent over those other guys. Good efforts by Wade and Dawson, but I think Cody took second at least.
It's a family-friendly show here, but if you had to pick one person to be at the bottom between Bartz and Murph, who are you going to throw under the bus there?
I love Barteau, man, but he's been struggling lately, so I'm probably going to have to throw him under the bus. Sorry, Bartz. Sorry, man.
Maybe we'll get him some redemption later.
Yeah, we're having dinner later, so maybe we'll be able to talk it out. Yeah.
Obviously, looking back to the last week, you get points in 5 of 6 games and a big series here against Maine this week.
Yeah, another huge test for us. They've been playing some good hockey. It's not too often you see out-of-conference teams throughout the year. We've got Maine and then Orlando coming up here. It'll be good test for us. We've played Worcester, and I think that might be it so far this year. But different talent, different style out in the East. It's always hard to come play the Mountain Division, and we're proud of that. So we're gonna do our best to string together a couple good games this week and see what happens.
We talked about it off camera here, but playing 8 of the next 11 games on home ice, and kind of will be home for the next 2 weeks. Obviously a normal week here, Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday, but next week a 3-3 down in Kansas City. So you'll have some home cooking here, and nice to be in your own bed for 10 days or so.
Yeah, all the guys love being here. Our fans are tough to beat. This environment's great. Been blessed to be here. Growing up, seeing the team, and then being able to be a part of it. This season's been special. We've had a lot of success, and the fans have really gotten behind it. Guys, part of the job is traveling, but we always love coming home, and being able to be here for during the next stretch of games is huge. Home cooking, sleeping in your bed, hanging out with friends, family, your pets and whatnot, so it's nice to be around.
Want to dive into that, obviously, with your connection here with Boise, but before that, your roommate, Colton Keller, is he a new puppy dad? Is that what I'm hearing?
Yeah, rumor is confirmed, Cam.
Okay.
Colton Keller recently adopted a dog. His name's Alfie.
Alfie?
Yeah, Alfie. We watched Peaky Blinders, and Alfie Solomons is one of our favorite characters. But it's good. Kels is going to be a good dog dad here. It'll be fun. I'll add some creativity and a little bit of little juice to the room. It's a little puppy, 2 months
Okay.
old, so we're gonna have to be on puppy watch a lot.
How many days has Elfie been in the apartment?
Actually, just last night.
Yeah,
so
that's
it's
what
days without accidents. We're sitting at 0.
Wow, batting 100% in the good way.
In a very good
yes.
way. Yeah. So we'll see. Really cute dog. It'll be a lot of fun.
All right, for sure. Had some earlier on Tuesday. We're hanging out with the dogs from the Humane Society.
We were had a couple cuties here on the ice running around. The Humane Society has done some really good work here in the Boise area. I constantly am looking at their website. I actually rescued my dog from the Humane Society. They have some great turnover. This last week, they actually had one of their most successful ones. So and it's great to see the community here taking care and adopting animals instead of breeding or things like that. So it's been nice to have them out here. We did a little bit of a photo shoot, a couple cute dogs,
Yeah.
and we'll see what comes from that.
Once again, we're here alongside Steelheads forward Zach Walker. Well, Walk's a pretty cool accomplishment for you last week. Played in your 100th game as an Idaho Steelhead on Friday night. Just tell me what that means to you.
It's pretty cool. You look at the list of guys who've been able to play, a handful of games here. Reaching the 100 mark is something special. Growing up, watching the games, watching the team, being in my second season here and being able to get that milestone is pretty cool. It's been a special group this year, so being able to play in these games is a privilege, and being able to be part of this organization has been great. So fans treat us well, team does well, so I'm super blessed. I appreciate it.
Obviously, growing up here, longtime Steelheads fan, season ticket holder, right?
I was more of a show up when you had chuck
okay.
a puck.
All right.
Dad would leave. We'd leave with like 5 minutes left in the game.
Yeah.
Dad wanted to beat traffic. But there were plenty of games I would listen to at home on the radio, and I'd scream over the banister to my parents, "Oh, the Steelheads just won in a shootout," or when my parents are sleeping, they're like, "All right, fine, nice, go to bed." But big Steelheads fan growing up and being able to be part of it's been great.
Tell me some of your favorite players that you were watching during your day. Obviously, tons that are still in the area today as well.
Yeah, big fan of mine. My fan, Marty Flickel. His number name's up in the rafters. Been able to see him involved in the community here still. We actually saw him not too long ago at Ice World. Was able to talk to him about how the season's been going. Scott Burt, Daryl Hay, who's also still in the community here. And then, fan favorite Lance Galbraith was, we were able to celebrate him this year, which was, super special for the community and super special for me because he was, one of my favorite players growing up. It's super tragic what happened with him, and the community will remember for him forever and what he's been able to do here. So it's been a special time being able to celebrate him this year, but just being able to see also some Kelly Cups here as the team. As I lived here was pretty cool too.
Now, were you in the building for the Kelly Cup that year, or
I was
listening on the radio?
Yeah, I think I was listening on the radio. Wasn't in the building, but I can tell you I watched they gave out DVDs when they won.
Okay.
And it was the highlights of the season, and I used to watch that thing on replay all the time. It was great. Super cool for the city when those happened, and big in the hockey community here for sure.
Now, obviously, growing up here, a kid from Boise and playing for the Steelheads now, you mentioned listening on the radio, coming to games. Would this be a similar pattern for, I want to say, like a kid growing up in Montreal, like playing, was it your dream to play for the Idaho Steelheads?
Yeah, I mean, having a professional team here in a city, definitely helped, cultivate my dreams of playing professional hockey. Did I dream of playing as a Steelhead? Not necessarily. I always had aspirations to play in the NHL. But after college, I had opportunities to play professional hockey, and the Steelheads were one of those opportunities. And, I was pushing for it as much as I could, being able to be in a familiar situation in the city. I still have family, friends, kids I went to school with around here. So it's been a blessing. I'm super privileged to be able to, take advantage of this opportunity and be here with a great team. It's really cool. Grew up 15 minutes from here, so being able to be part of it's great.
You had to wait a little bit, though, before you could put on the Idaho Steelheads jersey, the time you graduated college, heading into your first pro year, and Idaho obviously not playing that season.
Yeah.
So the waiting game certainly was a process, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a bit of a tease. So I graduated 2020, which was COVID year. Unfortunately, didn't finish our college season at BC. But after that season, signed with Idaho, having aspirations of playing. Obviously didn't work out with the COVID season and the organization opting out. But I was able to play in Pensacola for a year with Jake Kupski and have some success there, and able to re-sign again here for the last season. So bittersweet having to wait, but sweet now that I'm here.
Tell me about your first game when you finally got to put on the Steelheads jersey, what you remember from that, and what your emotions were heading into the game.
It was cool. Even before that preseason, I was a little nervous for a kid knowing the city and whatnot. I felt like I was late to everything, but I mean, I tried not to be. I was on time, I think. I mean, Sheener might say otherwise, but putting on the jersey was special. Seeing the crowd that I grew up in, watching, and being able to be a part on the other side of things was great. And still privileged to keep putting on the jersey each day. You gotta remind yourself that it's a special organization to be part of.
You recorded an assist in your Steelheads debut. You scored your first goal on November 19th of 2021. Do you remember that one?
Yeah, I remember the goal. I think I remember the assist. It might have been, I think it was a Whitey tip in front from Matt Stitt.
Standard.
It's pretty standard for Whitey, but no, my goal, I was following up another fan favorite, Kyle Marino, currently big fighter in the AHL, tough guy.
Yep, big tough guy.
He put it on, I flipped the puck up to him, and he kind of went on a breakaway and got chased down by a defenseman. Puck went off the pad, sat in front of the goal line. I kind of just shoved it in. So not the prettiest.
Hey, they don't ask how, right?
They don't ask how, but no, it's. I got my puck sitting at home, and it's it's a cool one for sure.
Now, was hockey always something that you were deeply invested into, or was there other sports that were kind of maybe pulling you away from hockey at first?
Probably deeply invested. I started skating and playing when I was 5. And then I grew up playing a little bit of football in the area. They have the Optimus football program here, which I was a part of, and then played a little in middle school. But I got the chance to move away from home when I was 14 to play hockey and pursue my career that way, which kind of made the decision for me. I mean, I've always loved hockey and knew that's what I wanted to do, so I was invested from the start.
Was that an easy process moving to Colorado at what, 14 you were?
Yeah, it was. I mean, it wasn't overly easy. The first few months you're pretty homesick. Looking back on it now, it's crazy to think that a 14-year-old can live away from home. I mean, my little brother's 14 and there's no way he's ready to go. But it's a big growing up moment. Get to do what you love, but it panned out.
Yeah.
So.
Was there other places other than Colorado that you were interested in or looking at, or how'd you end up eventually in Colorado as well?
Yeah, I had a couple. Didn't know too much. I just knew that AAA hockey was probably the best route for me to pursue my career. There were some teams in the decently close, California, Arizona, but Colorado was kind of the most comfortable for me and my family. Going into a really good situation. NHL Hall of Famer Adam Foote was our coach, so being able to be in a organization and environment that had some people to look up to and help you along the way that way was special and made the decision easy.
Awesome. Well, we talk about post hockey and maybe broadcasting whenever you're done playing, but you're awarded the Bellevue University scholarship last week to continue your education. First off, congratulations on that.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Now, what are we going to be studying? Do we know yet?
Yeah. Yes and no. I applied to the MBA program, so I got my undergraduate at Boston College in psychology. Did pretty well there. Humble brag. What
does pretty well define as? Like C plus? B minus? Is that?
Rounding up, I had a 3.6 GPA, so it's A's, B's, and maybe 1 or 2 C's. So Cody Heiskanen, pretty good at Cornell, but BC is a pretty good school too. But no, it's pursuing the MBA. It's a great opportunity through the league. I think it's their second year doing it. Yeah. So being able to apply for that and I wasn't expecting to get it at all. We had the commissioner come down and award me. I thought he was coming to give Register another award. But it was special to have that. My family was actually in town, so it was a pretty cool weekend.
Awesome. You mentioned Matt Register. I think he's a little nervous right now because Jack Becker recorded his first AHL point, and I think some people are starting to do a comparison of the stats.
Yeah,
and they're starting to get a little closer.
They're starting to get closer. Matt Register confirmed has one AHL goal, but Jack Becker is slowly chipping away here. If he keeps it up, he could catch Register in no time, so we'll see.
It'll be interesting.
Absolutely. Roommates too, so a little bit of a rivalry.
All right, I'm going to wrap this up. I got my 5 random questions for you here. Okay. Back with Steelheads forward Zach Walker. Well, Walks, we're going to wrap things up here with our 5 random questions. And like I've always done, 5. Like I've always done with question number 1. You've been given an elephant. You can't return or sell the elephant. What are you going to do with so-called elephant?
I'm probably going to start riding it to work.
Yeah, you think so?
Gas prices now
it's crazy.
Are pretty crazy. I think that's what I'd have to do. Maybe rent it out for birthday parties.
Oh, that'd be a good idea.
Probably
make some money on the side.
Make some money on the side. But gas prices and birthday parties. Yeah.
Gas was cheap down in Missouri. I don't know if you looked at it.
Definitely cheaper down south, I'm pretty sure.
But all right, I like that idea. Yeah. Birthday parties, how much are you charging? What do we?
That's actually a good point. Do I charge hourly or do I charge by the ride? I don't know. I got to look into it.
I think you could go both.
I think I could go both. Probably got to contact the Bouncy House organization and compare prices and see what we got going on there.
I think start off hourly and then maybe go from there. I want to know what your biggest pet peeve is.
Biggest pet peeve? That's a good question. I don't like disrespectful people.
Okay. Is there a time recently that someone's been disrespectful? Maybe not towards you, but to someone else that you've noticed?
Not necessarily. I just, it's common sense isn't necessarily common sense.
Yeah.
So for me, it's a little frustrating when I see people, giving other people a hard time. Sometimes you know what they're going through.
Okay.
You got to take a look in the mirror and see, hey, is it my fault or what? But just try to be a good person when I can, and we're all at fault sometimes, but just do your best to be a good person.
All right, thirdly here, you win the lottery. Let's just call it, I don't know, let's call it $20 million. Does that sound all right?
Yeah, that's fine.
20 million. What's the first thing you're going to do after you win $20 million?
$20 million. Probably signing a lifetime ECHL contract, because I can play for, keep playing and have some extra money there on the side. So I'll probably do that, but maybe
Steelheads lifetime contract.
Steelheads lifetime contract. Yeah.
All right, fair enough. You're stuck on an island here. You've been cruising on a ship that gets wrecked.
Okay.
Now I will give you water and I'll give you food, but what are 2 other elements that you would want with you?
Probably the Constitution of the United States, so that we can have some structure going forward. Right. As we, I'm thinking end of the world, stranded on the island. Really build towards our future. So we got the Constitution, and then we've got the dictionary, so I don't forget how to spell. And make sure that the English language and grammar continue. So I think those are some things you lose when you start to pull away from society, so it keeps me structured.
I guess staying on that question, who would you want to be stuck with?
I'm going to have to go with my roommate, Colton Keller.
I saw that coming.
Yeah, people would say there's a bit of a bromance there.
Yep.
Confirmed. He's a great guy. We get along well. It's super easy to live with him, and we're good buddies.
But as a Canadian, how's he supposed to handle the Constitution there? Are you going to teach him, or
that's a really good
do they
point.
have a Constitution in Canada?
We might have to bring a monarchy constitutional connection here. Yeah, we'll see.
Maybe the dictionary could help solve that too. That Webster guy's a good guy. Yeah, Webster guy's a good guy.
For sure.
Great guy. All right, lastly here, if you could be an animal, any animal, which animal would you want to be?
Oh gosh. That's a great question too. Probably my dog, Nora. She's kind of living the life. Colton and I work our butts off all day, and then she gets to hang out and lounge at home, and she's living rent free and getting some expensive food too.
Yeah, I was gonna say food free, no expenses for dogs.
No, she's doing pretty well for herself, and my fiance makes sure that I give her the good stuff too. Yeah. So I'm eating canned tuna for lunch, and my dog's eating like chicken tartare.
Now, do you think Nora would want to be Zach Walker or no?
Yeah. I mean, I got a pretty good life. I got a lot of good people in my corner, and I've been able to have some good experiences. So I think she'd like to be me for a day.
All right, fair enough.
But
I could count you as a dog guy.
yeah.
Yeah, awesome. Well, there you have it. That's Steelheads forward Zach Walker. Walks, thanks for the time here, and keep it rolling.
I appreciate it.
Yeah,
Thank
anytime,
you guys.
anytime. Thanks for watching. If you're still watching right now, or listening.
Or both.
Yeah, or both, or neither.
Yeah.
Okay, bye.